To chants of Viva Pablo. Thousands of mourners crowded a muddy hilltop cemetery today to bury Pablo Escobar Gaviria. A ruthless cocaine baron to the outside world, Colombia's most wanted criminal was a folk hero to many poorer residents of Medellin's tough hillside shantytowns. He built houses and cared about the poor, lamented a 29-year-old engineering student as mourners scrambled over broken glass in a cemetery chapel window and swarmed around the open casket of the trafficker, who died Thursday in a hail of police bullets. In the future, people will go to his tomb to pray, the way they would to a saint. Although a Roman Catholic priest was present, religious ceremonies were forgotten as the raucous mob seized the silver metal coffin and carried it in the pouring rain to the grave site. Fearing for their safety, the trafficker's widow and 2 children left before the burial. Jostling to touch the coffin, and sometimes to touch the body, the unruly crowd chanted, "You can feel it. You can feel it. Pablo is present." Earlier, during the night-long wake, a mariachi band defiantly played a popular country ballad, "But I Keep on Being King." Relief and delirium. Outside the traffickers' Andean feet here, however, Colombia's mood today was one of rejoicing. "Immortal joy," proclaimed the headline in La Prensa, Bogota's main opposition newspaper. Colombia between relief and delirium. The Escobar myth grew taller today as more details emerged about his final showdown with the police on a tree-lined suburban street in the Olivos neighborhood here. The 3-story safe house was of the type that allowed Mr. Escobar to evade 15,000 house searches by the police since he escaped from a luxury prison near here 16 months ago. With exits on 2 different streets, the house also contained a secret chamber under the parquet ground floor. But worry over the safety of his wife and children apparently led the fugitive to make a false move. Stripped of police protection a week ago, the family unsuccessfully sought asylum in Germany. With an anti-Escobar group already having killed some of the trafficker's more distant relatives, his immediate family took refuge on Monday in a Bogotá hotel. On Wednesday, his 44th birthday, Mr. Escobar called his family at the hotel on a cellular telephone. He did not know that the United States Drug Enforcement Administration had supplied the Colombian police with electronic monitoring equipment that was programmed to recognize his voice and to locate the source within 2 minutes. What are we to do? A series of antennas secretly installed last year allowed police technicians to scan all cellular conversations in this bowl-shaped city of 2 million people, Colombia's second-largest city. On Thursday afternoon, when 2 police agents from the elite search block kicked in the front door of the house here, Mr. Escobar was caught upstairs, in his bare feet. "Pablo, Pablo, my God, what are we to do?" A young woman could be heard screaming from inside the house. Cut off from the secret underground hiding place, Mr. Escobar jumped out a window to a rooftop. From there, it would have been a 10-foot jump and a quick sprint to a half-hidden storm sewer ditch that led out of the neighborhood. But the police, who had already cut telephones in the neighborhood, were waiting on all sides. Alvaro de Jesus Agudelo, an Escobar bodyguard nicknamed the Lemon, started firing to cover his chief's escape attempt. Then Mr. Escobar pulled out 2 9mm pistols and started firing from the rooftop. Police snipers opened up with automatic rifles, hitting Mr. Escobar 7 times. When the firing stopped, he lay sprawled on the rooftop, his 2 guns next to his inert body. The lemon also lay dead. Today, as President Cesar Gaviria Trujillo bestowed medals on police officers and agents who carried out the operation, many Colombians braced for reprisals. Informed of the death on Thursday, one Pablo Escobar Gaviria, the trafficker's 17-year-old son, threatened to personally kill those who had killed his father. He later retracted the death threats, but most Colombians believe that the clan will seek revenge. Murderers. The trafficker's mother, Hermilda Gaviria de Escobar, shrieked at police officers guarding the Medellin city morgue, where the body was taken. Through the same morgue have passed most of Mr. Escobar's murder victims of the last 2 years, including an estimated 400 policemen. Bearded, overweight and with a clipped, Hitler-style mustache, Mr. Escobar's body was identified by 2 sisters and by his parents, who recognized a 10-centimeter gold crucifix implanted in his left shoulder. Fingerprint checks corroborated their identifications. Warning of more violence, the trafficker's mother said that guerrilla units would try to avenge her son's death. Originally politically motivated, many of Colombia's guerrillas have become hired guns for the nation's $20 billion cocaine industry. Hundreds wait in line. Traffic backed up several blocks short of the Montesecro Cemetery in the nearby town of Itagüí. By noon, hundreds of people were standing in line waiting to be frisked for handguns before entering the Hilltop Cemetery. Rejecting suggestions by local radio announcers that a wake be conducted in the city stadium, the family placed the body on display in a cramped cemetery chapel. But the swelling crowds soon grew impatient. Army guards retreated and people surged forth, breaking through plate glass windows. "We are 100% with Pablo. He fought a lot for the people," Jorge Mario Suarez, a 27-year-old liquor salesman, said as a backhoe dug into the muddy earth to create the final resting place for Colombia's most wanted man.